What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out the all-new 6th generation Toyota 4Runner. This one is the 2025 TRD Off Road Premium with the iForce Max engine, finished off in black. They don't have any fancy name for this color, so we have this one with an MSRP at $63,800. It does have a dealer installed wheel package, which are the nice Nittos, and then a couple other accessories bumping up that MSRP. This one's base price is around $57,000. And then of course, adding a couple features that this one has. Overall though, let's take a look at what you're gonna see underneath the hood. There are two engine options available. For the 4Runner, we have the standard turbo engine and then the iForce Max, which is what we're looking at. So this is a hybrid actually. So this is a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder turbo engine with the hybrid system. Overall, it pumps out 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. This has an 8-speed automatic, a part-time 4-wheel drive system, curb weight is 5,200 pounds, and towing is 6,000 pounds. It also has a 19-gallon fuel tank, so you're looking at 23 in the city and 24 on the highway. You have a nice set of these LED headlights. You can see them with the dark housings, incandescent bulbs, 4 turn signals, and then a really bold front end. You got the blacked out Toyota badge, black grills throughout this mesh, and then you can see the active grille shutters back there with your intercooler. We have a camera, sensor, more sensors, and then we have LED fog lights. You're gonna get an air dam down below with recovery hooks. You can easily remove that because if you are gonna be going off-road, that is gonna be the first thing to get ripped off anyways. And then you can see how these front fenders flare outwards nicely, giving it just a really bold design. It definitely looks a lot like the new Tacoma and the new Sequoia, so kind of a blend between the two. I love the overall look. We have really sharp lines all throughout the hood, the iForce Max badge, and then you have the nice fender flares. The actual bodywork is bulged out, and then the fender flares themselves look quite nice. So we have the off-road tires, the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. You're gonna get an 18-inch set of wheels, TRD name, the satin black, as well as the machine black look, which definitely is a cool touch. These are two 65/70s, perfect size for this SUV. And then we have some sharp body lines throughout the doors, your plastic fixed running boards, and then just plastic material for the grab handles and the side mirrors. We have turn signals, cameras, black trim throughout the side, and then a very similar side profile to the previous generation 4Runner. One thing I really like is this rear window. They've actually curved it upwards like old school Toyota 4Runners. That's a really cool touch. Got the TRD off-road badge, roof rails with your crossbars as well. Just a really good looking SUV. I think they knocked this design out of the park. You're also gonna get a nice set of LED taillights finished in the red housing, and as you can tell, we still have the awesome sliding rear window. Great touch for any 4Runner owner. That is a really cool thing that they kept this for the 6th generation. You're gonna get the third brake light with the wiper blade up there integrated. Toyota name is written out on this plastic trim, and then we have 4Runner in the center, blacked out, iForce Max badge, all of your parking sensors, some plastic color right here, and then the trailer hitch is all integrated nicely, exhaust tip, spare tire down below as well. I like how it really does resemble the previous generation, but it just looks a lot more newer, a lot more bold, so really cool design overall. You're gonna get the power operations for the lift gate, and then we can pop that open and take a look at the cargo. Now, being a hybrid, of course, you're gonna have this large bump here, so in this configuration, we're going to be looking at 42.6 cubic feet, and it gets to over 80 cubic feet when you fold the seats down. So this is always going to be here in the hybrid. You have a little bit of a storage area here. If you opt for a non-hybrid, this will be much flatter, and of course you can get a third row in the non-hybrid. You have storage over here. I love the LED lighting, especially up on these pillars. That's going to be really nice, especially at nighttime. Got the JBL system, and then as you can tell, a nice flat load floor with some hooks as well. Now, as far as getting those seats down, if we grab the handle, you can see how they're all manual. We have our recline lever right here, and if you just gently put it downwards, you can lock these in a flat position. However, if you want them to tumble forward, you just let it do its thing, and you're going to get it into that position. Now again, this isn't exactly a luxury vehicle, so we're gonna have a lot of manual controls. So now going on this side, if we just fold this one flat, you can let it stay down, and you can get a good idea of the two different ways. Now with this bump, this actually isn't too bad of a bump from the back into the cargo area. However, the non-hybrid, that is gonna be like an 8-inch bump. So not too bad for this one. And then you have kind of a cubby down there. So just depending on how you're going to want to do all that, then we can press that button. Also speakers up in this tailgate. Letting that close, moving on to the actual interior. So this one being the premium will have the SofTex interior and then a lot more fancy features comparing it to a standard version. Now we're still going to get some hard plastic on the door panel. You do have a nice padded armrest, grab handle, cup holder, and storage. And then the black SofTex is really nice looking. I especially love the perforations throughout the centers. And then we do have a lot of recline angle, which is really cool. Opening this one, the center seat will have the armrest and cup holders. And then we have air vents and a couple plugs all down below. Hopping inside now, at 5'11", when I have the driver's seat a little bit farther back, I did have to move these slightly forward to clear the headrest. However, I do still have like an inch or so of knee room, and then my toes are the only thing that are a little smushed under the seat. And then I noticed the seat base is a little on the low side. So overall recline is nice and comfortable. There's plenty of headroom, and it's a decent back seat overall. I just find that my toes end up being smushed under the seat. So it's fine for grown-ups back here. Still would be a great family SUV. However, I think my dad's old 2016 has a little bit better footroom. But nonetheless, not too bad for a mid-size SUV that is more geared towards the off-road and the fun factor. We have the smart key where it will lock and unlock the door. And then on the front door panel, you're still gonna get hard plastic up here, and then the nice padding on the armrest. We are gonna see memory seating, all of your controls, grab handle, storage all throughout it, and both front seats are power operated. We have our lumbar support as well, and then I like the bolsters on these seats. They're nice looking, very comfortable. You have that cool texture throughout the center, some contrast stitching, and then a 4-spoke design on the steering wheel with the nice black leather wrapping it. Hopping inside, keep my foot on the brake, let's fire it up. So we have that comfort access, the steering wheel will automatically move. And then if we take a look at everything, you're gonna see a Toyota badge, some faux stitching. Audio controls are gonna be on the left side with some Bluetooth integration. Cruise control is all over on the right. We have our lane keeping, all those other features. For the gauge cluster, you have a nice display with all this information, and then I can scroll left and right, and you can get a few more things that are gonna pop up. Now, if I hit the OK icon, you can actually configure what you want in the center screen, and then you can go to the left side, do the same thing, and then into the right side. So quite a lot of different configurability, which is really cool to see. We have the stalk on the right for windshield wipers, a little storage underneath, and then headlights and turn signals on the left side. We have our level for the headlights. You can adjust that. Fuel cap, tailgate release, power, and traction control. You're gonna go into your air vents, just some hard plastic up above. And then with this package, we do have a removable JBL speaker. So pretty cool to see that for a Bluetooth system. Great for if you're going to the golf course, going somewhere, you want to bring your music with you. You're going to get a little bit of storage over on this right side. We have a nice large cubby. And then this is the same screen you're going to see in every Toyota. So we'll get a full screen nav, you'll get your Apple CarPlay, things like that. All your radio information will pop up. Any phone integration once you're connected. A couple things for the history and trip of the vehicle. And then you can go into vehicle alerts, if any, and then all sorts of settings. Now this massive screen gives you a huge camera system. You got that huge backup camera and a top down, and especially for off-roading, you can easily see all sorts of different angles. Going on this one, you have some pitch and roll meters, better idea of all the different off-road camera angles you're gonna want. You have this one as well, you can zoom in and out. And then if we go back into park and tap the view icon down below, we do have a really cool 360. So pretty neat to see all that, especially for off-roading. Volume is right in the center with your air vents. We have your temperature on the left side, fan speed on the right, a small screen, and then heated and ventilated seating. We have a heated steering wheel icon, and then several different toggles for all the climate. Wireless phone charging pad and storage, a couple extra plugs. We got a hook over here, a nice passenger grab handle with extra storage, locking differential, and then our drive modes. So we can control this for your 3 street modes, sport, normal, and eco. Multi-terrain select, which is of course for off-roading. You're gonna get crawl control, 4-wheel drive low and high. You can just press that and unlock it to go into all those modes. So really good bits of technology there. We also have our cup holders and then like a rubber material for the center. Nice storage down below as well. And then one last look at the interior. The premium is definitely a nice touch over the standard, which will just have fabric, standard screen, things like that. So a lot of nice bells and whistles for this one. Trailhunter and Pros are going to have soft touch materials for up here. I do wish Toyota did that on the premium package in general, just to get rid of some of this hard plastic. That's the one drawback with the interior, but overall quite nice in here. You're going to see garage door buttons with your mirror. We have a sunglass holder, and then we have a button up here actually to put down the rear window. So again, awesome feature, auto up and down. And we have your sun visors, and then they even have the extension. All right, so setting off now in the new Toyota 4Runner Hybrid. So this thing packs some power. We're just in normal automatic quarter throttle. This thing gets up to speed so quick. That was up to 40 without even thinking. The EV power I am loving on these hybrid engines. I think this is a big step up from the standard 4-cylinder. Personally, I would only get the hybrid. I think it just makes it much more beefy. I think it feels a lot tougher too. And you know, a 4-cylinder turbo with this kind of weight, this kind of towing, I don't know how well that will actually do long term. I'd feel like I trust the hybrid a lot better. The EV power is going to assist the engine to where the engine isn't getting the strain. So I'm loving the powertrain. Overall ride quality is pretty good. It still feels like a body-on-frame truck. I mean, this is a rugged SUV at the end of the day. If you want something more conservative, check out a Honda Passport. But it's smooth enough for my taste. Pretty good visibility. I kind of like how small the windshield is. You feel like you're kind of in a tank. So it's a pretty cool feeling vehicle. Good visibility overall. Can't really complain. And then, of course, you know, can't go crazy off-roading, but this is going to be a super capable vehicle. The Bilstein suspension is going to do what it needs to do off-road to really do a great job. I've been in the Land Cruisers and Tacomas off-roading, and they are fantastic, so I would assume this is going to be just like the rest. Camera system is awesome with the massive screen, and then the center gauge cluster really gives you a good look of everything that you're going to want to see. Now, getting back up to some speed. Once again, there is just effortless power. The transmission does a good job delivering the power as well. And in sport mode, we can go into the manual shift mode, which is a great touch. Gosh, you feel that EV power so much, and then the turbo kind of takes over in the higher RPM. It drives really good. It really is a seamless hybrid system. Sometimes you can feel and hear the engine turning on and off. So that's just one thing you're gonna notice. Steering is also pretty responsive. It feels nice. Like, this is actually fun to drive. The old 4Runner was, to be honest, showing its age. It was a little on the sluggish side with the transmission and a simple V6 engine. The body roll, the brake dive was awful in them. They just didn't drive that good on road. Better than a Wrangler, but not really all too good. This feels a lot more athletic on the road. It's a lot more enjoyable to cruise in. I find it pretty comfortable overall. I really don't have any like major complaints. It's not a cheap vehicle, you know, it's definitely expensive to get a nice one. And for me, this is what I would buy. I'd go with an off-road premium with the iForce Max. So you're talking about a $60,000 vehicle if you want a nicely appointed one. I still would like less hard plastics on the upper doors and dash. You know, the only way to get the doors nice is to get a Pro or the Trailhunter. I think the premium should just give you soft touch up here. Hard plastic in an expensive car I think is a little weird. Aside from just some of the cheap hard plastics, you know, the way this drives is just nice. It's fun to drive, it's got a lot of power, it's comfortable, I fit here really well, everything feels seamless, and everything works simple too. It's an easy car to get used to. So driving in the hybrid 4Runner, definitely I think worthwhile. If you're cool with spending the money and you want something that is a true rugged body on frame SUV with just a boatload of power, this is something to check out, and we know the off-roading is pretty good.